Alright folks, welcome to another beer review, and today we're going back over to the mighty Marble Brewery in Manchester, and this is a can of the Champlain Valley New England IPA. It's a French word, so I said it in a terrible French accent. Champlain is, from what I could gather, a writer, so I don't know if Champlain, we'll just call it Champlain Valley, if that's a place or not. My research didn't extend that far. And this is a New England IPA, clocking in at 6.5% ABV in a nice 500ml can. A soft and hazy New England IPA loaded with hops, bright note of citrus, mango and guava with a smooth malt backbone, creating a juicy yet balanced finish. Store upright and cool. Pour slowly to leave any sediment in the can. I won't be doing that. I'm just going to pour it all in because I'm an alpha. Bit of a different angle because I've finally got myself a new tripod, and can't put it on the windowsill because it just doesn't fit. So you're getting a bit of a, it looks to be a better view. The lighting seems to be a little bit better, but it's just a mess behind me, and I've not done my bed, so hopefully you don't see the semen stains. Anyway, so yeah, looking forward to this. Picked this up from, well, I was in Manchester, funny enough, from a little sort of like cafe slash like corner shop sort of affair, called On the Eighth Day Cafe, which is quite near to the Manchester University on Oxford Road. I had initially gone there because I found out that they are one of the few places, there's probably other places in Manchester city centre that stock it, but there's a drink called Club Mate. I think it's pronounced Mate, M-A-A-T. I think it's like it's a very specific type of drink, but Club Mate is a very tasty beverage, which I don't think it might be, but it might not be, a German company. But I remember seeing that a hell of a lot whilst I've been in Germany, and then having it beautiful, and the iced tea version is just fantastic. Unfortunately, they didn't have that, but they did have like their version of cola, so I thought I'd pick that up, and I saw that they sold a few beers, so picked a few of those up. And yeah, while I was there, saw some nice pastries and wraps and stuff, and I inadvertently picked up a vegan chorizo wrap, and you know what, it was actually really damn good. So a nice little kooky place, and then downstairs they've got a cafe, sort of reminded me of maybe a little bit more of like an organic version of like what's the place called in Ancoats, the corner store, what's it called now, which I also went to, picked up a few beers there and some Torres crisps, because you can't go wrong with truffle flavoured crisps, even though it's like £5 a bag. But we'll gloss over that, it's worth it to treat yourself. Corner store, local store, what's it called now? But you know that place, and it sort of reminded me of that, but I think a little bit more focused on like vegetarian, vegan sort of things, organic. And can't lie, felt a little bit intimidated going in there, just because, I don't know, just felt, but I shouldn't have, because the staff were really friendly, and it looks to be a lovely little place. So if you're a student in Manchester, perfect. Or if you like to be a bit more conscientious with like the foods and things you buy, also good, and not too badly priced either. But they had a nice selection of marble beers. Weekend Project, they had a few beers of those as well, got one of them. Not the most vast range, but still, you've got a good selection for a shop like that. Anyway, so went there, very nice, lunch was really good, and picked this beer up, even though the main reason why I went there didn't come into fruition. And they had some interesting looking crisps as well, which is always a plus point for me. But more importantly, the staff were really, really nice. So beer in a glass then, he's waffled on for way too long. A really nice sort of like mango-y, orangey, hazy looking beer. I don't have a marble glass. I don't know if they've got like specific glassware you can buy. So using, because I associate marble with drinking them in a pub setting. I mean, the Marble Arches, you know, up there is one of the best pubs in the country for me. Definitely, aside from the City Arms, my favourite pub in Manchester. Although Northwest Tonight did a story of a pub that actually won that award recently, and I think it's the pub, I can never remember its name. It's like one of those like that's on like a corner, and it's, I think the landlord is the oldest landlady in the world. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, Manchester's got some great pubs, like most of you guys know anyway. But yeah, the Marble Arch is definitely worth a trip. But yeah, don't have a marble glass, so I'm using a track glass, and I really like this glass. You could kill someone with this glass and it wouldn't smash. Plus it plays into that aesthetic of having a nice pint of beer poured. But looking very, very nice indeed. I, probably in a naive way, gravitate towards their classic beers like the Manchester Bitter and Metric Pint. I can't remember if Metric is the rename, but then they've got another one that's of similar ilk. And the bitters are always good, always had good bitters. They do like barley wines and stuff like that, but I don't think I've ever actually had a hazy IPA from them. So looking forward to this. Getting really nice smells already, and I've not even stuck my fat nose in. So let's just do that. And I'm definitely getting that sort of like mango, pineapple, a little bit of like paprika notes coming through almost. Very subtle, sweet, citrusy notes coming through as well, just giving that balance, adding a little bit of a bite to it. You're definitely getting a nice biscuity, bready, savoury malt character. But on the aroma, it just smells like one of those beers that you could probably session. I mean, the ABV is 6.5, so a little bit, not on the high end, obviously. But yeah, smells very good and enticing. So let's give it a taste. Cheers, everyone. It's a really big kick at the front of this beer, and I can instantly see why they've put guava on the tasting notes. It's got that like guava, almost like passion fruit. There's very much a tangy sweet character there, a little bit punchy but not overly pungent. You get the sweetness of maybe like a melon, mango, pineapple, but not like really vibrantly sweet in that regard. There's definitely a bit of like an acidity to it, which instantly makes you think of lemon, lime. Grapefruit bitterness by the bucket load on this one, which I think is such an underrated type of flavour, is bitterness. Not like when something's wrong and it's got a bitterness that shouldn't be there, that's not satisfying. But when something is naturally bitter, it's such a satisfying flavour profile for me. I mean, as a seasoned non-fruit eater, and quite frankly, I think I'm the biggest I've ever been, which is very depressing, because you don't really tend to become in better shape as you approach your 40s and your 50s. So I could well be bedbound by the time I'm 60. But I need to. Well, it's working for Greg Wallace. He's looking absolutely fantastic at the moment. Controversial man, as we all know. But if you want some wonderfully unhinged YouTube content, check out his YouTube channel. He brings up his firing all the time, makes comments about it, little like jokes about it, and I don't know. I don't know where I stand on Greg Wallace, to be honest. Some of the things he has done, obviously, not okay by a long shot, and you should be held accountable for. But I don't know. Maybe I've been too absorbed into the manosphere, but I don't know. I think he's had it piled on him when in the grand scheme of things. But then again, I wasn't there, and I wasn't a woman on the tail end of it. We're getting a bit deep in this one. What I'm trying to say is, it's like Michael Barrymore. I'm not completely defending him, but there's something, and his content's really good, and I just love the fact that, going on to Michael Barrymore, he's like in his mid to late 70s now, and his dress is well good. Loves his streetwear, loves his like his like well-known trendy art forward brands. Plays Fortnite a lot. He gets stoned to fuck where he does munchie runs. Yeah, just these people that I think a lot of people say you shouldn't like, but I find them so engaging. Anyway, hopefully I didn't upset anyone with that. But you know what? There's flavours in there that I can't put my finger on. It's not like what we've come accustomed to now. Juice bomb, sweetness overload, soft, pillowy sort of New England IPA. It's that like bitterness, that's like dryness there. It's got a little bit of like a resiny, dank character, which in all honesty is a flavour profile you are getting a lot more of, I find, with like hazy New England style IPAs. But you know what? It's just going down an absolute treat. And to get 500 mils of this beer in the can, you're getting bang for your buck. And I know this has probably been inspired by my mindset of associating marble beers being drank in a pub setting. But this, on cask, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat getting the can. You're in for a treat getting this on keg. I know they've done these beers quite a lot over the last few years. In fact, they do such a diverse range of different beers, let's be honest. But like I said, I love them for their bitters and the more traditional styles. I mean, Metric is just one of the most satisfying like core range pale ales. Is it a pale ale? Can't really remember. I don't know why I didn't pick up a can, because I love that beer. And you do sometimes find that breweries don't really do the IPAs, the New Englands, that well. Whether that be due to being such a new style for them to brew, if they've got quite a traditional background, or whether it's just not a beer style that they specialise in. But then again, you can have the best rated craft breweries every now and then put out a bit of a dud pale ale IPA or double IPA. I think he always brings this point up. We're so oversaturated with beers like this that it's easy to be a bit let down, isn't it, really? It's easy to be disappointed. It's easy to be like, well, I know a brewery who's used those same hops that have had their beer 2 weeks ago and they did a much better job at it. But yeah, I think this is absolutely fantastic. And that's made me sound like I'm like, and they've got no right to be doing beers like this really, really well. That's not what I'm trying to say. And they do such a diverse, you know, range of beers. Because there wasn't just like 3 or 4 different beers on the shelf. They had like a full shelf in the shop with, God, about 10 different beers that were just available at that present time, if not more. Of course I had to pick up a can of Manchester Bitter. It's a fantastic beer. But yeah, Marble, one of those breweries that don't need to depend on what's trending in the beer world. It's sort of like that same ilk as the likes of the Colonel, who just basically brew what they want to brew. And I think there's something really satisfying about a brewery that approaches brewing like that. Whereas everyone's on like the silly stout train, or doing, you know, smoothie sours, or the cloudy, pillowy, you know, hazy beers, or things of that nature. And they do good lagers as well, from what I can remember. And Marble just, I think they've got that reputation of just being a very solid brewery. And I think from what I can remember, or what I've read, a really pioneering brewery in what we see as like craft beer, and like one of the real OGs. And yeah, like I said, do yourselves a favour, go to the Marble Arch. It's a fantastic pub. It really, really is. Bags full of character, beautiful windows, nice slopey floor. Yeah, just one of those places where if you're on a pub crawl, you want to stay there for maybe 2 or 3 beers, even though you've got a full day of drinking all around Manchester. It's one of those sorts of environments. And yeah, I say that though, haven't been there for ages. Didn't even pop in Manchester when I was there yesterday, although I wasn't really drinking. I'm picking some stuff up for a little trip that I'm doing, which included this tripod that you're on now. Oh yeah, that's hitting the spot. That's absolutely lovely. Fantastic. Just, it's got a bit of like an old school hazy IPA feel to it. And it's not just an IPA, a generic IPA that happens to be hazy. It's really, I'm struggling to eloquently do this beer any justice, because I don't know, I feel I'm making it sound like just a generic alright hazy IPA. It's not, it's just so satisfying. Like I said, the bitterness on the back end is beautiful. And imagining this on cask is, there will be stains on this bed sheet if I do that. I've never come over beer, just to let you know, and I've never come inside a beer. Where are we going with this? I need to stop. Anyway, yeah, fantastic stuff. If you see a can of this, definitely give it a go. Is it going to blow you away? Is it going to be in your top 5 hype bombs of the year? No. And not every beer has to be like that. But could you just happily like stay on this beer all session? Hell yes. Just so easy drinking and satisfying. And that to me is more important than anything else really. Especially in this age where I want to find a beer that's brewed regularly and buy that beer consistently, knowing I'm going to have a good experience. But then of course the inquisitive, explorative side of me is always picking up new beers whenever I can. But it's just good to know that like beers like Metric and Manchester Bitter, if I pick that beer up, I know I'm going to have a good time with it. And I'm not too sure if this is just like a seasonal or one-off, or just something they brew every now and then, or it's quite regular. But I would happily include this whilst purchasing other Marble beers. it's just getting the job done. And do you know what? Probably helps because I'm recording this at the end of my work week, where any beer tastes like a 10 out of 10. But yeah, is it going to blow your socks off? No. Is it another Sydney Sweeney, American Eagle or Sin advert that you've probably watched too many times on Instagram? No. But is it a dependable Sydney Sweeney going about a business with no makeup on and still absolutely slaying it? Of course it is. And what a weird comparison. But we all know that I serve cunt better than everyone else. What a great phrase that is in the modern lexicon. Serving cunt. Wonderful. Anyway, cheers for watching. Load the tone as usual. And yeah, if you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Don't I feel like my mouth's foaming for some reason? It is quite a bit dry, I will say that, but I like that. It's got something about it, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of this. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, opinions if you've tried it. I've got a few marble reviews on the channel, probably not enough, because when I do tend to buy marble, it's metric, or is it pint? I can't remember. But all I know is that beer is fantastic. Really is. Never disappoints. So I tend to just pick like 2 or 3 cans of that up. Plus I can get it in my local booths, which is always a plus point. I've been doing this too many times in this video. Anyway, cheers for watching. You all take care, stay safe, and no, I'm not fucking Amish. Bye.